come take a little walk around the sanctuary, I actually did bring some brochures in with me if you're interested in that. There's little maps and stuff on there. We do have a lot of really neat walk around trails and a couple different little ecosystems there at the sanctuary. We have a cypress swamp hidden in the back over here. Oh, see, yay! That's pretty interesting. Now, Bernie sometimes goes potty, so I'm going to just kind of stick this underneath him like a little toad diaper. Okay? Now, Bernie, he's a pretty big toad, would you say? He's a pretty good sized toad. However, this guy can get bigger than this. He can get the size of a dinner plate before he's full grown. So he can get huge. The important thing to know about this toad, first off, this is a toad that you see all over South Florida, okay? Toad. So they've got a few different little names. The important thing to know about this toad is he's got poison inside his body, okay? Right behind the eyes, he's got these pillowy pockets. He's got bumps all inside. Inside the bumps, inside the pillow pockets, that's where the poison's at. I can pet him all I want, the poison doesn't come out. But if I were to bite him, which I'm not going to do. But if I did bite him, that poison would go in my mouth, make me really sick to my stomach. Raise your hand if you guys have cats or dogs. Anybody? This, looking at him, this is actually a crocodile. This is an American crocodile. Florida, we're pretty special because we actually have both alligators and crocodiles, which is pretty cool. Crocodiles like super warm salt water. They actually are more like Miami and south of here. Okay? There's only a couple few hundred crocodiles in the state of Florida. Alligators, we have over 1 million alligators in the state of Florida. When you look at them like this, crocodiles have long pointy noses. It kind of looks like an upside down V. Alligators have a rounded nose, kind of wide and short. It looks more like a U. Crocodiles are more of a tan, light gray, kind of olive green color. Alligators are more of a black with like a tan. Larry knows he needs to turn around. All right. Look at that nose, or the snout, or the head, whatever you want to call it. See how it's rounded, wide, and kind of short? Now look at the color. It's more of like a kind of dark gray or a black kind of color. Alligators, when they're born black with yellow stripes. Then the yellow kind of turns into this tan color. Then when they're about 5-6 foot, about as long as I am tall, they're pretty much solid black or a dark gray in color. Okay? You should not be close enough to see this. But if you are, and you happen to see their mouths closed. Alligators, you can only see the top row of teeth. It looks like he's smiling at you. Crocodiles, you can see top and bottom. It looks like he's growling or snarling at you. Okay? Now, alligators and crocodiles have some things in common, which is very, very cool. All the bumps on their body, each bump is a piece of bone called a scute. As the alligator or the crocodile grows, the scute grows as well. So just like people, when we're born, we have our bones, we grow with our body, we don't trade our bones out. We're pretty much stuck with what we got. Same thing happens with alligators and crocodiles. They also have, close your eyes. Okay, open it. How many eyelids do we have? 2. The top and the bottom, how we close our eyes when we want to sleep. The bottom like we do. Then they have a clear one that comes across sideways. The clear one that comes across sideways, it acts like goggles or a mask when they go underneath the water. It's called the nictitating membrane. And that protects their eyes underneath the water. So they go under the water, they put their goggles on, their eyeballs are protected under the water. Now their ears, their eyes, ears, and nose is on the very tippy top of their head. That's so they could be sitting in the water, eyes, ears, and nose popping up out of the water, the rest of their body is hidden. So you don't really know how big that alligator is until he lifts his body up and shows you. So he could be hiding in the water, underneath the water, you just see this little bit, and you're like, oh, look at that little log floating through the water. Could very well be a pretty big sized alligator. One of the coolest things to me, anyway, when they open their mouths, your alligator and your crocodile, I'm going to kind of, hold on. The last thing we want to do is get bit. All right, when he has his mouth open, you can see it's all sealed up inside. Alligators and crocodiles, I'm really observing them. Their eyeballs, they can only see on the sides. They cannot see directly in front of them. So when you go running zigzag, you go into their vision, the way they can twist and turn their body, they can do as many zigzags as we can do. So it really doesn't make sense to me at all. So if an alligator or crocodile ever chases me now, I'm going straight ahead where you can't see me. That's what makes more sense to me. So, y'all, that needs to get out there. This guy here is called a gopher tortoise. His name is Slowpoke. Gopher tortoises will grow about that long. guy here is probably about maybe 6 to 7 years old at this size right here. Digger is with us because before he was able to fly, some kind of animal attacked him and actually bit his toes off. He's missing a few toes. So I'm sure you guys know if birds of prey, they need their toes, they need their talons to be able to grab onto live prey. So that's why we have him. This is not a Burmese python. This is actually called a ball python. The ball pythons are still sold in the pet stores, okay? But they will only grow maybe 5 foot long at its max. Burmese pythons can grow 25 feet long, 300 pounds, and eat a large deer. So if they can eat a large deer, I don't see why they couldn't take down the average size adults. Kids would be an appetizer to a snake like that. We now actually have these snakes out in the wild. It is a very big problem. That is thanks to our exotic pet trade for the most part. They've been selling Burmese pythons for years and years and years in the exotic pet trade. People get them, they think, oh, it'll be so neat to have a really big snake, blah, blah, blah. Then they start getting 15, 16 foot long. They have to have an entire room in the house. Now everybody's scared to go in that room even to feed it because it's... Oh. There you go. Now, I know that he's got some balance issues because of his eye. It's his right eye. So as I walk around, everybody just keep your kind of hands to yourself and stuff. And like I said, if he does jump off, he's not going to get away from me. Everything is good. I'm just going to keep him up high so everybody can kind of take a nice little look at him. Then you see the dark pictures around his eye. I agree with him. He's telling me all about his snake. He's being so good. In Florida, we have this kind, which is considered a striped skunk, and then we have a skunk called a spotted skunk. If you're ever out at the beach, you see a small black and white animal. It's got spots and stripes. It's no bigger than a squirrel. It has short fur. Does not look like a skunk at all. It is a skunk. Skunks, when they spray, whether it's the striped skunk or the spotted skunk, they can spray up to 15 feet away.
With our furry friends, girl to animal, think of the amazing repartee. If I could walk with the animals, talk with the animals, grunt and squeak and squawk with the animals, and they could talk to me. If I consulted with quadrupeds, I think what fun we'd have asking over crocodiles to tea. Or maybe lunch with 2 or 3 lions, walruses and sea lions. What a lovely place the world would be. If I spoke slang to orangutans, the advantages why any fool on earth could plainly see. Discussing Eastern art and dramas with intellectual llamas, that's a big step forward, you'll agree. I'd learn to speak in antelope and turtle. My Pekingese would be extremely good. If I were asked to sing in hippopotamus, I'd say why notamus, and I would. If I could parley with pachyderms, it's a fairy tale worthy of Hans Andersen for sure. A girl who walks with the animals, talks with the animals, grunts and squeaks and squawks with the animals, and they could talk to. If I conferred with our furry friends, girl to animal, think of the amazing repartee. If I could walk with the animals, talk with the animals, grunt and squeak and squawk with the animals, and they could talk to me. If I consulted with quadrupeds, I think what fun we'd have asking over crocodiles to tea. Or maybe lunch with 2 or 3 lions, walruses and sea lions. What a lovely place the world would be. If I spoke slang to orangutans, the advantages why any fool on earth could plainly see. Discussing Eastern art and dramas with intellectual llamas, that's a big step forward, you'll agree.